Hi, my name is Eliza Seffler. Welcome to my channel. If you are new, welcome. If you are returning, welcome, and thank you for coming back. Today I'm going to touch on the subject gatekeeper. In Proverbs chapter 4, verse 23 reads, "Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it." Gatekeeper. During ancient times, cities were encircled by thick walls, which were a barrier against uninvited guests. These walls provided defense against weapons and attacks. In some cases, cities had encasement, a casement wall, which were two parallel walls with room between them. So if you could imagine two houses that are built side to side, they're attached, they look attached, however, there is a space, a very thin space between them. So this is how the casement was made. Only the space will be a little wider than a space for a house that appears to be attached. And those casement with the walls between them, they were used for additional living and storage space. Besides being part of a city's protection against uninvited guests, the city gates were also a place where important business transactions were made, courts were hosted, and public announcements were made. So before we had 1010 Wins News, before we had YouTube, Facebook, we had walls that were used for public announcements. For further protection, gatekeepers, also known as men of war, were soldiers stationed on the city walls as protectors and watchers. So they kept watch of beyond the walls. They kept watch to alert the people inside the walls, the city, the people living in the city, of any type of danger that was coming toward the wall. Gatekeeper. Like ancient times, we need to guard our hearts as gatekeepers of our lives. In Proverbs chapter 4, verse 23 reads, "Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it." Our heart is central to our thoughts, attitudes, and actions. We guard our heart by being a gatekeeper of what goes in, stays in, and out of our mind. In ancient times, guarding the city and the wall of the city was not left to chance. The people in the city, the ones that were in charge, the kings that were in charge, did not leave that important part of their lives to chance, hoping that their enemy would have a good heart and not attack them. They took action. They put things in position in order to guard the city. And we are not to haphazardly plan in guarding our heart, in guarding our mind, in guarding what comes in and what goes out. So just like the ancient times, guarding the city was not left to chance and was not done haphazardly. It was planned and it was done intentionally. In James chapter 4, verse 7 reads, "Submit yourselves then to God. Resist the devil and he will flee from you." Gatekeeper. Submitting to God can only be done if we plan it. It will not just happen. The only way to submit is to gatekeep. The only way to gatekeep is by thinking and meditating on the things of God. And the only way to think and meditate on the things of God is by intentionally planning time to read His Word and to talk to Him and to worship Him and to let Him know how much you love Him. Not because you just love Him, but because He loved us first. And God showed us that He loved us first by sending His Son, Jesus Christ, as a sacrifice to die on the cross to bridge the gap between us and Him. In some cities, it was not enough to just build the wall. They built two parallel walls with rooms between them for additional living and storage space. To be a gatekeeper of what goes in, stays in, and out of our mind, we must intentionally allow the Word, which is Jesus Christ, total control of our mind. He is the only one that created us in His image. When He breathed His breath into us, He created us in His image. That's His image. That doesn't mean everyone is walking around looks like God. That doesn't mean we look like God looks like the way we look physically, because we live in a physical body, which is temporary. But the spirit that dwells inside of this body belongs to God. It's His. He's the only one with total ownership. Anything else just comes to steal, kill, and to destroy. And that's what Satan does. He comes to steal, kill, and destroy. He is not the owner of us. Only God is. So when we guard our heart and give the Word, because the Word of God says the Word was made flesh and dwelt among us, Jesus Christ, total control of our mind, just like the physical gate was a place where important business transactions were made, courts were hosted, and public announcements were made. Our thought is where important business transactions are made, courts are hosted, and public announcements are made. So when we are thinking about things, we're hosting a court in our mind. If we leave things while we are chewing on it, we're hosting court. Because during court time, what is done? Each party comes and state their claim and state what they think happened. So we are hosting in our mind, court is being hosted, transaction is being made. We are exchanging one thing over another. So when we do not meditate on the Word of God, we are trading, we are transacting the Word of God for something else. And that something else is not legitimate because it does not belong there. And public announcements are made. Once we take a decision, that's the public announcement. We decide on our mind, this is what I'm doing, and then you go ahead and do it. So the mind is very important to gatekeep. A gatekeeper that lacks in his duties or her duties could bring ruin upon an entire civilization. So the idea of gatekeeping implies alertness and security. The gatekeeper of the gates in Psalm 141, verse 3, is none other than the Lord Himself, as He guards our heart and mind through Jesus Christ. Your mind, there is a saying that goes, your mind is a terrible thing to waste. When we do not allow God through Jesus Christ in our mind, we are wasting it and giving it away to a thief. And he only comes to steal, to kill, and to destroy. Because the things we are going to think about are things that's going to destroy us, whether mentally, physically, or spiritually. And at times, while the things we are thinking about will destroy us, however, we do not live in isolation. We have families, we have friends, we have coworkers, and we have people that are surrounding us that we don't know. We do not have a personal relationship with them. They're not our friends, they're not our family, they're not our coworker, but we meet them every day, whether we are driving, taking the bus, go to a restaurant, go to a play, go to a park. We meet those people. And the things that we meditate on could affect not only us, but others as well. So be a gatekeeper of your mind and surrender your mind to the Lordship of Jesus Christ. Thank you for listening. I pray this message was a blessing to you as it is a blessing to me. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment on how you are being a gatekeeper of your mind, a gatekeeper for your family, a gatekeeper that would benefit from generation to generation. Until we meet again, have a blessed day.